Okay, this is a little unusual the way I'm holding this. I just don't have a tripod right now to hold this, so try to be as still as possible. The Germans have 3 turns to clear out this town, to take that town. My goal is to, my initial plan is to move around here up this road because the crest rules in this really make it hard for people to see each other. So they're gonna get up here, stay out of the range of this anti-tank gun, come up here, hopefully call in this arty. They have one arty. I think I was going to use this guy as arty 2 instead of doing this direct fire. I think that's sort because I had him misplaced, so I'm going to have to think about this piece of artillery here, or this brown artillery. But it might be worth shooting over here. We'll see. I'm not sure what to do with him because I'm really limited. I got checks. I think I got check stacking too. Make sure I haven't overstacked these guys here. It's so rarely I stack like this, but at the beginning no one can see anybody. So anyway, so I'm going to try to do that. I don't know if going up the crest sides make any difference, but maybe if it, hopefully it doesn't make a difference on roads. I'll have to check that out. This observation post would be nice because it extends your range of what you can see. So that's the plan there. Americans got a lot of guns here. I have an arty park. I have to check. I think both these guys are in that arty park. So if so, I need to put them kind of down here below. I just did that so I could see them. What else? Yeah, it's so funny. It's been a month since I've played, and I feel like I've forgotten everything. But I just kind of need to go through the order of play here and make sure I got it all under control. So I may play. I'm not going to do a turn like play it live or play here just because I need to kind of just play the turns, and then I'll go through and make sure I got it right. So I'm excited. We'll see what happens. I'll come back after the Germans already rolled for activations. They only got 3 more command points. There are no dispatch points in this short scenario. This is scenario 1, and that's it. We'll talk to you. Okay, you can see the order of operations there. Man, let me just say, first turn, I just started playing again. I'm like, oh man, this is so much fun. All this stuff happening. Op fire, things happening, not happening. So the Germans took this unit out, put the 1 step loss on this anti-tank unit. Really, they used up all their command points. They have 0 left, so there's nothing happening there. Some cohesion hits happening past their rolls. Lots of barrages happening, heavy barrages too, because we got some pretty strong units attacking here. So that step loss is big. The Americans moved these guys out here to kind of defend that perimeter. Here might have been better. Now that I'm sitting here thinking about it. And this unit moved in here. They're in column, so they need to get out of column. I need to take care of that. Actually, I should have moved these guys up, but they fired mortars. No, they're going to stay back here. They'll stay back there. As the Americans, I'm probably going to activate this, put this formation chit in here so they can get up here and help defend for the final defense in this last turn. So at least they can maybe be in range to do some op fire, because I'll definitely put these guys in the last one. The worst thing that can happen though is if this command chit doesn't come out, it has to stay in there, and they wouldn't have that choice. The American division activation did not come out this turn. I mean, kind of okay. They're down to 1 command point. They only get 1 plus whatever they roll, so they need to roll 9. I mean, at least they got to do this. So they got to fire some stuff, but nothing really happened there, so it didn't really work out great. This really would have been better. It's always better to get that division chit to get more points. So the Germans are down to 0, so they're going to need their thing to come up quick. If it doesn't come up, they're going to be hurting too, like a lot. Fun stuff. And the line of sight in this is really very limited, especially if it started raining or night. Goodness gracious. It's just none and overcast right now. Then as we move into the 9 o'clock hour, this was the 7 o'clock hour report. on the 25th of November 1944. The SAR, SAR campaign, not celebrating, remembering the SAR campaign for 80 years ago. Campaign SAR 80, or hashtag SAR 80. All right, we'll see you. Okay, well, here we are at the end of the 9 o'clock turn on the 25th of November 1944. Wow. Okay, the Germans spent a point to fire this, or do some counter battery. They rolled a 9. They didn't get they rolled a 9. So they've lost contact twice during this game. This guy lost contact with his artillery here. It's just kind of tough. I should have looked at the weather here. Shoot, when it's going to be this last turn. It's pretty unlikely the Germans are going to be able to do this. Here's their objective hex. There's this guy in front of them. It's a one-step anti-tank unit. These guys are under a... Well, this would actually come off. But they've lost a step. There's a cohesion in it. They're looking really rough. The tank, the German tank moved over here so that this guy doesn't have a fire zone on these guys. And they try to close assault. These guys moved here for the same reason. They might try to go into there. They might try to go. The engineers might try to go into there. I'm not sure how that's all going to work out. This American did, the tank destroyer did destroy the, what is that? Is that a Wesp that the Germans had from the 9th Panzer Grenadier 902nd Regiment? Boy, I just made up a bunch of names and numbers there. So these guys tried to build an entrenchment. They had a minute work. Good proper barrage placement helped me do that, so they didn't get opportunity fired on. So we're going to have to check for contact. We're going to have to... I'm definitely going to give it to the green guy. So I might actually try to get the green commander to get that contact there so that he can have it, because I'm going to give him the command chit. Those command chits came up for him. The first German chit is going to be the Panzer Grenadier Regiment 902. So they're going to try to lay some waste here. They got a total of 9 command points that turn, so that was really helpful. So they have, but I used some, so I have 6 going into this turn. Plus, we really got to get that division chit pulled. If that doesn't happen, it's also kind of lights out for these guys too. But that means they didn't get to, they're missing an activation. So they did not get to activate. It would have been better for that to come up than to direct command, because then they could have activated fully. And then, so they really need this and the division ones to come up. Direct is really kind of, to me, kind of pointless in this case. So anyway, that's that. Man, again, having a ball, just fun seeing the fails and the all the stuff. It's fun seeing the stuff and people being able to opportunity fire or not. All right, we'll see you at the end of the 11 o'clock turn, which is where we're coming up to. We'll see you. Hey, breaking in at the 11 o'clock hour on the 25th of November, 1944, SAR 80 here real quick. So these guys we've had some close combats. These guys are right here next to this unit. They tried coming in here. They got bounced. I think a unit was destroyed. Yeah, they got 2 cohesion hits and a step loss. These guys they're pretty good. They're in pretty good shape. So here's what's happened. Really the perfect chits came up. This was the first one, so they played that. Here they got some more points. They actually used them. They're down to 4. So they just need to go in here and take care of business. So they really need the direct command chit to come up, because if it's any Americans are going to like reinforce that. If it's a formation, he'll go in there. So this will be the big one. So let's just see what we pull. I'll let you see it. I don't think it's necessarily a done deal, but we'll find out. And the next one is the American division. All right, we'll see what happens. We'll come back at the end of the turn. Well, here we are. 11 o'clock hour, SAR 80. Well, it's an American victory. Just barely. Here was the reason. One reason is that the command chit came up for the Americans. This was it. It came down to these two. If it had been the Germans, they would have had one more chance. It would have been the tank. It would have been the tank and the infantry unit going into the town against these guys. And let's take a look at what the conditions are on everybody here real quick. I should have done this before I started filming, because I'm kind of filming this in a very weird angle. So, just patiently going here. So 2 cohesion hits, 1 step, and a light barrage in a town. Now, I guess that barrage would affect them. 2 cohesion hits on this infantry unit. That's not good. 1 cohesion hit on the tank. Yeah, this would have been, it's not a given. And they'd have to pass their quality checks, which doesn't happen every time. So, anyway, that would have been the attack, but it didn't happen. Wow, what a game. I had a great time. Gosh, man, what a fun system. So glad I've finally gotten into this. So there are the past units that are no longer with us. Yep. And really cool. Good time. Close run. It's pretty cool how close it was. I didn't think the Germans really had much of a chance, but they were able to just kind of plink away. Lots of things could have been done better for sure. I was kind of excited as the American, I was able to kind of move this around, so that would have impacted their bravery check. So that -1 would have impacted the bravery check as well. So it impacts it. If I understand it, so it would have impacted, it would have been another negative. So the Grenadiers would have been at a 6.543, and the tank would have been at a 6.54. So, Grenadiers wouldn't have made it, and the tank would have made it in. So you would have had 1 sole tank going in. So fun though. I mean, so many units didn't make it. These didn't pass bravery checks. Like this guy didn't pass the bravery check to go in, so that's why he's still even alive. His buddy got wasted. That was fun. That's a pretty cool scenario. Like there's a lot of little options you can do. Like I didn't use a rear guard. I was really considering it, but it jumps on you, and the game that's happening here. Maybe the Americans do it immediately, but I didn't really see that as an opportunity, and I think you're kind of set on where you have to set up your defenders. Maybe within a hex or two. We'll go take a look at that. Really fun, nice flow. I feel like there's good chances. I mean, chip pulls really make a difference, and on these short scenarios, they really make a difference, right? And so like this here, it's like, okay, that's it. Remember one of these guys, I think these guys didn't get it, so they missed 1 turn. They only get 1 command roll, and they only rolled a 1, so they got 1, because, lost contact with the artillery a bunch. That was fun. Well, not fun. I mean, this is why it's nice to solo, because when those things happen, I take it a little less serious. Now, I just need to take that attitude playing someone else. Let's go check out if the defense has some flexibility. So yeah, they do have flexibility, so that's cool. So I'll need to kind of look at where I had these people set up. Maybe rethink that. So I put them where I did. So they had to go within 2 hexes of that, of 3319. So where is that? I had them, maybe I moved them closer to the town. I had them where I did, just trying to keep the Germans honest from sneaking around that other side. So I'll have to kind of see where 3319 is. So as far as I read it, the artillery parks are really off the map. So, because it says is 5+, is 10+. So that tells me that they're actually far behind. So they can't attack direct. They can't get attacked, which makes sense to me. It just doesn't really make sense. They really made a huge difference. That Americans won. The German tried to counter battery, failed to call in. That was pretty funny. And then they were done for the game. So that was a bad deal. So that would have helped if that hadn't happened at a minimum. 2, if it would have had an impact. 3, maybe I should have just attacked some ground units, but they still would have rolled a 9 and lost contact. Good times. So any hex. I don't know. I thought the approach I took was decent. going in as the Germans kind of really flooded that one side. It seemed like the best approach because the Americans had a tank. That American tank was up on that hill, so they couldn't really go past him when that first chit is the division chit. You can't move within range, and that other side allowed me to do that. So I might need to kind of check the map and see. Maybe that was a good reason for me to put those. Here, let's go back to the map. I mean, maybe that's a good reason, having the Americans where I did, and that tank here kept them honest. They couldn't then move into either one of these spots here. So I had to go around here. I couldn't go here because I had an American here. I think I made a mistake moving that German back here. Though he was able to spot, he was then back here. He needed to be up here to take the town. So that was one mistake on the German commander part. Couldn't have. I should have kept that Wesp up here. He could have spotted for the units. For sure. So the Wesp up here firing on these town. I don't know why I moved him up. Because then he's becoming direct fire. And actually, I think I messed that up. I need to check. I think it becomes a yellow instead of a brown. And then, of course, you don't get and then you don't get a thing. So, any barrage. So I need to check that too. I might have made a mistake doing that. Anyway, that was fun. I have to see what the second scenario is. I think I played the second scenario against Rich, or I might have been this one. I can't remember what Rich and I played. If it was this one, I don't know. Man, that's when I played Rich last time in this, we didn't even make it through much. So that's pretty interesting. How much more confident I am about the game. Not necessarily that I'm good, but at least I know the rules and I kind of know what's happening and I kind of know the flow and the, kind of what's going on there. I think, play somebody that'd be like, Todd, you're screwing up that rule and that rule and that rule. I do have questions about stacking and moving. So stacking and what can happen. So like I had a stack here. I had a stack of a tank and an infantry unit. I wanted to fire both units in here, or whatever, not this guy, but fire both in, soften the guy up, and then both go in to attack. I don't think you can do that. I only think you can move as a stack. I think you can assault as a stack. I need to clarify that. That was a big question I had, was the assaulting and the stacking. What can happen there? I feel like there's another question I had, but anyway, this is $63. It's a lot of money for a magazine game, so you're not getting a box for it. Though, you get a nice thing. You do get the magazine with a lot of information on it, which is pretty cool. So it's not just it's a magazine focused on GTS. You get a pretty nice game, I think, with 4, 5, 6 scenarios. So, if you play every scenario, that's $10 a scenario. If that's one way you want to look at it, you have to divide into the articles. So that's something. That's all I get for the articles. But this is a good entry point. It's not $250. So if you want to try out, this is the best entry point, and I hope it's available. Race for Bastogne may not be bad either, because I think, and Operation Mercury goes on sale for good prices sometimes. So keep an eye on them, as well for Race for Bastogne. Those are good ones. They're not, Race for Bastogne especially is not huge, because I understand the D-Day games are humongous. Operation Mercury is big, but there's a lot of scenarios you can play without going to all of them. So you certainly don't need to do that. And Race for Bastogne has a bunch of them too. You will be seeing that on the table because it's Battle of the Bulge 80. All right, thanks all. Thanks for tuning in. You're all great. Let me know what you think, and let me know if you're playing this game or any other games. What's going on? See ya.